The chapter begins with a judge passing judgment on Yu's former classmate Ryu, who is to be sentenced to 6 years in prison due to all the crimes he committed. Now Jay, who just won his debut match and became a pro boxer, is having a hard time sleeping because of all the adrenaline and excitement within him becoming a pro boxer. He then instead tried shadow boxing, now facing Ryu, who just seems so talented for him that he just can't seem to beat. He tried again and again until he got tired. As he was about to turn back to sleep, now that he is a pro boxer too, maybe, just maybe he could try to practice shadow boxing against you. As Jay tried to move forward, he knew that you could have landed a devastating blow just like that, decided to just go wash up and call it a day. Somewhere Yuto Takeda was also practicing his shadow boxing and facing you, dodging his punches, grasping his speed, and trying to land counters. After he was finished with his set, he was about to do 100 more sets before he finished. In an interview, Coach K announced that their next goal is the junior welterweight title and that if they are free to do so, they would challenge the champion straight away, but know that they need to prove themselves first, so they would defeat the current first-place boxer in the division. K then added that Yuto Takeda should enjoy his belt while he has it now because it won't be his for much longer. Yuto and his coach were watching the interview and the champion was looking a bit worried. Yu's match was about to begin facing the junior welterweight division world ranking first Elliott. He said that even if you defeated Gene, he would show him that the junior welterweight division is very different and much harder. That he would defeat you and then repay Yuta for humiliating him. The next clip shows that the match is already over as the first in ranking down, bloodied all over. It was a devastating defeat. A reporter couldn't begin to describe the fight and said that he couldn't really call what he watched a fight and was more like a show. You didn't throw a single punch in the first round, not even once. As his opponent was the first in ranking, he could only guess at how humiliated he must feel not landing any hits at you, let alone you didn't even throw a single punch that round. The second round then started, and after 11 seconds you finally threw a punch, knocking the opponent down with a single punch, ending the match. The match only lasted 2 rounds and 11 seconds. It's the exact time the lightweight title match against Jean-Pierre ended. Yuto and his coach were watching the match, shocked by Yu's performance. The coach said that he's a fucking monster, making a message to Yuto saying that he's strong enough to end the match whenever he feels like it. It's the epitome of natural talent versus the epitome of hard work. The champion Yuto, now anxious, said that he would go for a run to calm him down. The coach said to herself that this match would be very different, and this time she didn't see a way how Yuto could win against you. Days passed and the coach was being interviewed on what kind of boxer is Yuto Takeda. The coach then asked them what they thought about the words hard worker. The reporter then said that without mincing the words, a hard worker is just a loser. Exactly. The coach said that the greatest boxers got where they are because of talent. In the end, it's all about talent. In the world of pro boxing, if you're a hard worker, that just means you've got nothing else to show. And then there's Yuto Takeda. If anyone is an exception to this rule, it's him. The only one who can confidently say that he's worked hard physically and mentally. The personification of hard work. The coach then remembered the first time he saw Yuto, and he didn't have a speck of talent. People without athletic ability struggle to create this natural flow of energy in each movement. From having non-existent talent to thinking he's now a world champion. A flashback then shows Yuto's coach was a friend of his dad and mom's childhood friends, to be exact. The coach had feelings for his dad, but his dad ended up choosing Yuto's mom instead. But even with her feelings, since their relationship was so precious to her, she wasn't sad about what she couldn't have and was thankful for what she did have and wished her dear friends everlasting happiness. But sometimes life heartlessly takes away what we hold most dear, as a picture of Yuto's father shown at a funeral and his mom lying on a hospital bed, and as those who remain must grow stronger and endure the pain. Yuto's dad was a cop and saw some gangsters harassing a woman. As a man, he couldn't let this go. Remembering what he said to his son, a really strong person isn't afraid of fear, and they instill courage and hope in others. Someone who dares to treat others with warmth. That's what makes them strong, become someone strong, Yuto, as he is seen laying on the ground stabbed and bleeding heavily. He then calls his best friend Misaki saying that he spilled too much blood and didn't think he'd make it, asking a favor: if he dies, could she take care of his son for him? On that day, Hiroto, Yuto's dad, left them. A few weeks after Hiroto died, Miho also passed away after having had to battle her illness for so long. The coach lay on the ring depressed as her two best friends left her alone forever. She then asked Yuto what's the point of living? He replied saying his dad told him not to be afraid of fear, to grow strong enough to instill courage and hope in others, so he's going to become strong. Although he wasn't endowed with physical talent, he's been gifted with mental strength. The coach then said that if he wants to continue boxing, he'll have to train harder than anyone else, and even if he does, he'll still just keep on losing. I don't care. He replied, I want to become as strong as my dad. After that, the coach said starting today, she'll train him to become a boxer. Starting now, Yuto will be the coach's reason for living. As time passed, even though he didn't have talent, he continued to work hard, and his extraordinary efforts piled up until slowly he began to metamorphose. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be updated on our latest posts.